So a woman who does not stand up to her abuser is a coward. Hey y'all, it's Demented Caliber here, and if I look like shit, that's because I've been up for literally over 24 hours now. But whatever, I want to get straight into this video because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about in this video. So, I was browsing Facebook and I seen a post about saying a guy who lays his hands on a woman or a child is a coward, and I completely agree with that. So I decided to look in the comment section to see what everybody was saying. And the comment section was kind of fucked for the most part. Like, the first comment I seen was, if a woman does not, or if anyone does not stand up to their abuser, they're automatically a coward. And I thought that was completely wrong. Because I know somebody who was in an abusive relationship, or an abusive marriage actually, so bad to the point that they almost died from it. Now, if I told you who it is, then you already know who I'm talking about, but keeping the names private here, not releasing any fucking names. Alright, so, here's the thing with abuse, especially when it comes to a female. It is actually a proven fact that most females will not stand up to their abuser. Why is this? Because, one, their abuser is 9 times out of 10 bigger than them, stronger than them, and, yeah, well actually, that's 2. Bigger and stronger. You can't really overpower somebody that's stronger than you. I'm 5'6", 165 pounds. And I'm actually pretty tiny for who I am, believe it or not. So, if somebody's abusing me, I'm not going to try and stand up to them and just get my ass beat even more. It's simple as that. I mean, yeah, you can reach out to somebody, but that's pretty much what most people don't do because it just pisses their abuser off even more. And I made a point to this guy. I said, well, I know somebody who is in an abusive marriage, and she is 5'2", I want to say 180 pounds, and her abuser is 5'9", 190 pounds, pushing close to 200 pounds. So you can kind of see where his weight and his height kind of outweighs the lady's height and weight. So yeah. So it's not just that simple to stand up to an abuser. And I don't see what people don't understand about that. They're like, oh, you stand up to him, you can do this, that, and the other. Yes, you can call the police, you can reach out, try and get help. You can either stand up to your abuser, but most won't do it because if they try to stand up to their abuser, well, guess what? They hit their abuser, they're getting it 10 times fucking worse. So yeah, point blank, guys, don't sit here and say that someone who's being abused is a coward, especially when it comes to a female or a child. Like, yeah, like a little fucking kid's gonna stand up to be someone abusing them. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, and I'm actually vaping on Wally's vapes. It's called Peach Fuzz. This is pretty good e-juice. Now this is a 50/50. It's 12 milligrams of nicotine. And I gotta say, the cloud production on it is pretty good. So this is going to be an e-juice review as well. So, like I said, just don't sit here and say somebody's a coward because they're not standing up to their abuser. It can be 10 times worse if they do stand up to their abuser. So yeah, and I've actually witnessed, well, I didn't witness this firsthand, but I have experienced it firsthand. So yeah. Alright, so moving on to the e-juice. Wally's Vapes, Peach Fuzz, 50/50. Pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. I've been I've been vaping on this a lot lately. Now, as much as y'all know, I like my Redneck Cola, but I have an assortment of e-juice, so I'm pretty much set. I can switch up whenever I want. So, we're gonna rate this 3 categories. That's smell, taste, vapor. And yes, it is a 50/50, but you'd be quite surprised what it does with the Temple RDA. And I was actually quite surprised as well. Alright, so smell. It doesn't really smell too much like peach, but it is really sweet smelling. It smells really good, so I give the smell an 8 out of 10. Just because it's peach fuzz, but it doesn't smell like peach fuzz, or peaches at all. I don't know why I said peach fuzz, but it doesn't smell like peaches. And that's kind of a bummer to me because, I mean, I have an e-juice that's supposed to be a peach flavored e-juice, so I expect it to smell like peaches. But here's where things actually get interesting with this e-juice. So like I said, it doesn't smell like peaches, but when you vape it, it tastes like peaches. I freaking love this e-juice. So, I give the taste a 10 out of 10 because it does sort of taste like peaches with a little bit of other fruits in it. If you've ever had a peach, you know, like the skin on the outside, that's what it tastes like. Like, the really good part of the peach to me is the skin, so I definitely love it. So, taste gets a 10 out of 10. And vapor, yeah, it's a 50-50, but it sort of kind of reacts like an 80-20, to be honest. Or even a 90-10, which is pretty cool. Very, very dense vapor for it being a 50-50. Is dense the word I should be using? No. It's got thick plumes of vapor for being a 50-50. And I freaking love it. So I give the vapor production a 9 out of 10. It's not overly impressive like, say, the Oculus, which, by the way, guys, I am just about out of, and it sucks because I love this e-juice. This was like my cloud blowing e-juice. So, yeah. 6 milligrams of, well, actually, it's 3 milligrams of nicotine, but I bumped it up. So, yeah. But, it's really fucking good, guys. The, Peach Fuzz, I highly recommend it. 30 milliliter bottle, so it's the same size as, say, like my other bottles. Let's see if I have one over here for an example for you guys. There we go. These totally vaped out. Same size bottles. The cap on this one is obviously a little bit smaller, which, no biggie. Believe it or not, I think this cap right here might actually fit on the Victoria, which is an 80-20. So once I'm out of this one, I'll put it on the Victoria and then I'll start vaping Victoria again. Because as you guys know, that is my fucking e-juice. I love Victoria by Pinup Vapors. It has a really, really distinct taste to it, and it's hard to describe. Like, you really can't pinpoint the flavor on that one. So yeah, it's just like a combination of wonderful flavors. And back to that guy that I mentioned in one of my previous videos, the guy that was sitting here calling me names and stuff because I didn't agree with his ideals on politics or the type of person he is voting for. He actually literally went as far as to call me a loser. And then he pulled up, or not really made a point, but just like literally brought up the fact that I have a whole bunch of Confederate flag pictures on my Facebook. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Confederate flag. Do I support racism? No, I do not. I view the Confederate flag as a representation of the Confederate Army. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah. And then he proceeded to insult my knowledge on my own bloodline, something that I know very well about. And he says, well, you don't look like you Indian, you look more like you're a white supremacist. Like, what? In case you haven't seen a skinhead, they're literally called skinheads because, well, they shave their heads bald. I got hair on my head. See? My fucking hairlines were seen like shit, but I don't really give two fucks. But I mean, you're gonna sit here and judge me based on my looks because I didn't agree with something that you said, and I try to make a point to you. That's kind of low, man. It really is. But I simply told him like this. I said, you know what? Out of respect for my friend, I'm not going to continue with this conversation any further. And then one of my friends' other friends, like it's a bunch of friends pretty much arguing, she actually sided with me. And for a second. And then he's like, well, you should see his Facebook, or his Confederate flag collection on Facebook. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with me as an actual person? You got a Confederate flag hanging up right here. Doesn't make me a fucking racist. I mean, if that was the case, people who support the American flag would also be racist because, as most of us know, the Confederate flag was only flown for 4 years while racism was in place. The American flag, however, was flown over 60 plus years while racism was in place. And I actually have a picture that shows that and it explains it all. So if you happen to check out my Facebook, you know my real name, Austin Young. That's not hard to figure out. You can ask Super Turbo Dipper. You can ask Real Outlaw 89. Hell, you can even ask NH Dippers if you want to. Doubt he'll probably give it to you. But yeah, I have a lot of fucking Confederate flag pictures on my Facebook. So fucking what? There's a lot of guys who post a lot of shit about nude women and whatnot, but you don't hear anybody else complain about that. Wonder why? Oh, because it's nude women and they're males. So yeah. Oh, mod locked. But yeah, that's pretty much it. She sent me a picture, or pretty much sent the picture in the comment section saying like, just because everybody else accepts it doesn't make it like good or anything like that. And that's not why I view the Confederate flag, or I'm a big fan of it. I am a big fan of it because I am from the South, and like I said, I view it as the Confederate battle flag. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off here, guys, because I am extremely tired. If you happen to enjoy the video, leave a like, comment down below what your experiences are with abuse and whatnot, and don't forget to subscribe. This is Demented Caliber signing out.